We're playing Smash on the internet, but
Yep.
again, we got a bit of a break from the norm. I'm really excited to see how the Wii Fit and DDD matchup kind of goes at this level. I mean, I know we've all had family members and maybe little cousins or whoever, play these characters, and there's not really much to take away from it. But I feel like at this level, we don't really get to see these two characters duke it out in a position of bracket like this. So
Mhm.
I'm really excited to see how this is going to unfold. If I'm just a betting man, a guessing man, I would imagine that some of the matches are going to be very quick, some of the exchanges at least. And then there's going to be times where both sides are just kind of kicking it off stage and just like, hey, you got to come and get me. So that's kind of been the reoccurring theme here this weekend.
I'm interested to see how they can fight against each other. Of course, it might be more zony and campy, or we're going to get just high aggression looking for grabs. Both of these players have been really solid on their grab attempts, so and they can get a lot off of those grabs. So it might be an ebb and flow of, all right, I'm going to try to get stage control with grabs, and then you're going to have to fight your way back against Gordos, against Salute the Sun, against the ball, and see what you can do without taking too much damage.
Castella and Noodle are here, friends. This is lower final, losers final, depending on which game you come from competitively. You know what part of bracket we're in. There's a lot on the line, a lot of bragging rights, of course, because you got school pride. But honestly, I feel like in these two players' position, it's also about money as well. Okay, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just saying our college players could use a little bit more money in their pockets. Let's look at it that way.
Yeah, and this is also not even just school pride. This is also like regional pride as well. I mean, we have 3 players in 3 completely different regions here. Castelia from Northeast, we have Noodle from Midwest, and then we have our last player here, Rusty Nerd, who's in the Southwest, right? So 3 completely different regions, 3 completely different schools, and 3 completely different players still remaining in this bracket.
That's right. A lot to put on your back here, but only the strong survive. So we'll see who's stronger between these two. As you can see right now, Noodle getting a lot off these aerial combos, just using the fact that, KDD, big body, but the hammer, though, hits even harder. Going to close out Noodle's first shot.
Big body, big hammer. You have to swing a big hammer when you're out here, that's for sure. And Castelia now going to continue to poke a little bit at the ledge here. You can see that Noodle kind of has to go for that down tilt attempt, but otherwise has to respect the back air, and in fact challenges it and takes it out. So I like Noodle being proactive there, but trying to go for a deep breathing, gonna start to get put into the mixer there with these up airs from DDD. Oh, Castelia with the reverse inhale to get them off stage, and the continued punch from the Gordo. That was so nice.
That was Noodle right now, looking really lost in the sauce right now. Gets back to the corner. That's still not a good spot to be in versus DD because Nair covers so much distance from the ledge back onto solid ground. Okay, going to use the soccer ball for coverage. Back into the corner again. No inhale and no Gordo. Wow, narrowly escaping danger.
Castelia is just, some of these mix-ups are so crazy. I love their usage of inhale, not just to mix up their recovery, their landing to land, potential grab situations, but also to get the Gordo back moving in another trajectory. And Castelia is in full mastery of this. Honestly, a pretty impressive DDD, not gonna lie. I mean, both these players are impressive, but considering it's King Dedede, like, this is awesome to watch.
This is a phenomenal thing to see here. Noodle right now, this is still comfortable terrain for a Wii Fit to be in. I mean, yes, I don't have the lead here, but you know what, though? I am still impossible to kill, so I still got one avenue of this game into my possession. I'm going to go ahead and heal a little percent here. DDD coming out to get him. Castelia going deep.
Oh! I have to be careful. Unfortunately, too close to the stage, so essentially goes vertical. And whether they cancel it or not, they were kind of screwed there. So Noodle catching him at the apex of that up B. Now it's Castelia who has to work from behind, and against the eventual deep breathing that's likely going to come out. This is going to be hard as Castelia's already at 100% here and change. It's continuing to stack. Oh, and that is extended off the ball. Noodle missing the timing, and now Castelia still has a chance to get back into this.
It is. Talk about stacking some hitboxes right there. Castelia, unfortunately, not able to stack it back up to the ledge. And unfortunately enough, Noodle is going to go ahead and close it out right there. Noodle, though, I'm going to be real. I mean, both sides were playing really well, but Noodle seemed to be very ready for the DDD matchup. Very ready. Very
Definitely.
comfortable.
Yeah, and they were, forcing those lower recoveries. So DDD has to commit to the up B, looking for, trying to get the Gordo in the way instead of just, all right, I'm going to use my jumps. I'm going to land with Nair, maybe something like that. Like, that was actually impressive how often that Castelia was forced to recover low. And Wii Fit Trainer, especially Noodle, has been so effective at these ledge traps when someone's recovering from low. Like, they're setting themselves up for success. So this is, you know, and that momentum too. I mean, once Castillo dropped and lost that lead, Noodle didn't even remotely look like they were going to give it up.
No, absolutely not. I mean, and that is just the mark of a beast right there. In a game like this, in a format like this, it's very easy for matches to go back and forth, but it never really felt like Noodle was like, hey, you know, I'm ready to play this like back and forth game with you.
Wow.
Just hold on to the lead. He wants the lead, and he's going to do his damnedest to hold on to it. However, though, it's going to be a little bit difficult to do when you're getting your items thrown back at you, which is something that King DDD is very, very good at.
Yeah, Noodle is just deciding, I'm not respecting anything. I'm just going to challenge literally everything you do and see what you can do. Can you react in time? Wow!
Sure.
In 35 seconds, Noodle gets that first stock, and Castelia having trouble dealing with Noodle's offense. You know, they really, oh, that's a nice inhale. But overall, like, these balls have been hitting against Castelia almost every single time. The salute the stun, forcing Noodle into Castelia into their shield. That shield was so low. It's gonna be poked every time, but no, staying alive just barely.
Barely staying alive, but still here for the most part. The down smash gets nothing off it. That should be a back throw, yes. Again, this is not unfamiliar terrain for both of these two characters, both of these two opponents. However, we're gonna have to try to make a play and quick. Love the parry system. I actually wanted to talk about that in game one, but I'll talk about it now. The parry game from Castelia has been on the point here for the majority of their time here in this tournament, and they have to be versus Wii Fit. Wii Fit's gonna swing big, make them pay for it.
Another header coming out from Noodle, continuing to keep this pressure on and whittle down that shield so they can eventually poke. Oh, that's flying at 1,000,000 miles an hour, but Castelia overcommits and Noodle easily punishes with the back air. Now Castelia they can't be fishing like that. Noodle's gonna be able to respond with the speed to whiff punish against DDD, so Castelia really has to be careful overcommitting for these kills.
Same for Noodle as well. I know you like to spend a lot of time in the air, but it might be best to keep those feet off the solid ground. Just got anti-aired a couple exchanges before that. Before he finding himself off stage. Forward air, no down air. Love the weight on the air dodge. DDD we're talking about. I have a great recovery system. This is not a good spot to be in.
Yeah, that DDD inhale combined with like a back throw or a back air is no way. Reads the jump, still not enough. But will Castelia commit to make sure that Noodle doesn't get back on stage? No, whips the back air. Noodle gets back, barely alive, and now slight lead.
Such a strange, like, I mean, you had literally seconds to make a decision on if you're gonna, you know, jump with the hammer or if you're just gonna let it rip. Had they charged it, you run the risk of it whiffing, but if it hits their shield, it breaks it. And then, of course, you get the KO. But it might be best to just go for the percent, too. Just go for the jump on the hammer. However, it feels like Noodle has to jump on these landing options. Castelia really struggling to land the soccer ball, courtesy of the Gordo, is going to shut it down for that game. And Noodle looking damn good here for the Midwest.
Yeah, that was kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. If Castelia lands close, they might get grabbed. They might get hit with a close normal. But if they try to recover far away, they're getting hit with the header. Like, that was just such a hard landing situation there for Castelia. And now, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we go back to PS2 here. I almost think I wish I had my background set to PS2 instead of FD, because we've been going there almost the entire time. But I don't think it comes down to stage for these two players. This has been so evenly matched. When someone gets a lead, it's pulled right back. But Noodle is feeling themselves right now. Looks like they have the download on this matchup.
Hey, who you telling, man? I wish I could just change my background in general, man. But I'm not home. I'm somewhere else, man. But yes, we are changing the scenery up just a little bit. Pokemon Stadium, of course, and potential final game. I don't even want to call it. I don't want to speak it into existence for Castelia, because if I'm well aware of what's on, you know, the line, I'm sure Castelia is as well. But I just can't help but to, you know, bring it up. I mean, Noodle's just been playing so well here this set. You're really gonna have to show me something new and quick.
Oh, well, speaking of new and quick, Castelia very quickly on the new stock there. This Noodle just with a crazy string, and Castelia is really not landing anything. That's the big thing too, is that they might not, you know, they might be getting out of these situations, but they're unable to respond very effectively here. They'll finally Noodle overcommitting, these back airs coming out, but Noodle wants that, right? If DD's gonna be spending jumps in neutral, they're gonna be able to poke below with the up air. They're gonna be able to charge up their deep breathing, and there it is. So this is an opportunity for Noodle to start stacking things up more, as Castelia is trying to burn resources just to win these exchanges in neutral.
Yeah, no, quite literally, man. I mean, You know, when I just think of like the survivability or just the manageability of their toolkit, I mean, Noodle, of course, has just been doing it in such a strong way. But I was getting ready to say I would like to see Cecilia maybe calm it down a little bit. I just feel like the offense is definitely there. I mean, you have certainly proved that you know how to press the right buttons, but sometimes it's about the buttons you don't press when you want to really slow the match down. And if you want to get into a slugfest with Wii Fit, you might want to think twice about that.
Yeah, this is, you know, we're still in January. This is still midterms territory, and I think Noodle's been studying pretty hard.
I think so.
Oof. Castelia now looking for a way.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, a collegiate format is certainly the area where you want to really stretch your knowledge, and Noodle, of course, really showing us what's up. Castelia, though, has great positional advantage here off the mark with the back air. We've seen that quite a few times, most notably in the video step, but not quite seeing it hit the mark here. Maybe, you know, we fit not as much body as DK, so a little bit harder to hit. Can't say the same for DDD, though. Very easy just to let it rip on.
Noodle using that Noodle to full effect here. There's the up tilt. Castelia still has a chance, but it's going to be so hard to work back here. The deep breathing, that does almost 40% to Castelia. That is incredible. And now Noodle really just needs one more neutral exchange to win this. Gets it off stage. The header just barely whiffing. Although recovery, forcing it. Can they get it? No, the aerial whips. But still, Castelia having trouble getting back on stage and potentially their last stock of the tournament.
Okay. 173% here and climbing. This is still okay for DDD to be in, but not while Weefit's going red. You have to figure out how to make a play, and as quickly as possible, gets another soccer ball to the dome. Okay, off the mark. Up throw might be, oh, no up throw. Actually gonna go for the forward throw here this time. Forgot DDD got a little size on him, so that's not gonna be enough to do it quite yet. I'm sure they don't want to stale it either.
No way. No way. If Castelia brings this back, I mean, that would mentally boom Noodle, I would think. But such a massive, crazy advantage here. 232 for Castelia. One of the highest percents we've seen in the broadcast. Oh! No, the Gorda, I don't think was the right option there, especially up that platform setup. It can't be whiffing opportunities here. And there it is, the forward tilt, powered up by the deep breathing, makes it a 3-0 victory for Noodle as they take that lower final and earn themselves a ticket to Grands to face off against one more opponent.
There it is. We have seen quite the back and forth exchanges here. And you know what, friends? We're actually going to get ready to see it here one more time. Big shout out to production again once more with these replays. I mean, there's even things that we miss as commentators, especially when it's we fit in these trades. Those hitboxes, those limbs come out really quick. Sometimes we gotta zero in on it. Let's go ahead and relive the magic.
How can we not? Yeah, this is a magical set right here. Even though it was a 3-0, I mean, Castelia really putting it all out there. But Noodle, you could see, had the download and really knew how to deal with DDD as they were recovering. But still, those cross-ups, that cover is really solid. Here we go. Another trade and an exchange there that, what do you even do in that situation? You're already committed to the Gordo, you're done. That right there, that's a full textbook read. And by then, Noodle knew exactly what Castelia was going to do at any time.
Yeah, that was just, it was a tough one for Castelia. I will say this, though, that there are a couple things that Castelia did that I really liked, that I felt like Noodle has just been struggling with really. You know, just like this whole tournament series, namely like the aerial combat, you know, just making Noodle think twice before jumping, or maybe taking away that confidence that, you know, you would have versus other characters, whether it be because I have an up smash that covers the whole distance around me, or I just know that I can parry your hitbox on the way down and punish you with up tilt really quick. There was just a lot of things that Castelia really did that I thought, if done maybe in a different way, they could maybe push this to a different outcome for themselves. But, you know, however, it was Noodle that was able to shut it down and move themselves to grand finals. However, this is a matchup that we did kind of see earlier, so they're going to have to be safe about this one.